Once upon a time in a cozy little house, there lived a lazy cat named Larry. Now, Larry wasn't your typical feline. Oh, no! While other cats chased mice or lounged gracefully in sunbeams, Larry preferred to do nothing. He would spend his days sprawled out on the floor, staring blankly at the wall. His motto was, "Why move when you can stay still?" And he took that motto pretty seriously. In the middle of the living room was a huge pile of catnip, probably the largest mound of the stuff Larry had ever seen. But before he could make a move, one of the cats noticed him standing there with an empty bowl. "Hey, why don't you come and play with us?" the cat called out to Larry. The cats were taking turns diving into the pile, rolling around and having the time of their lives. Larry felt the old lethargy returning, pulling him back into its familiar embrace. His paws suddenly felt heavy, his eyes droopy. The thought of moving just a few steps to the pile of catnip seemed like an enormous task. He had never played with other cats before and didn't know if he could, but the cat's invitation sparked a small flame of curiosity in him. They rolled around in the catnip, swatted playfully at each other, and chased each other's tails. "Come on, Larry," he thought. "Just a little bit of effort and you can have some fun for once." The cats slowly lost interest and began to wander off. One by one, the party was over almost as quickly as it had started. Larry didn't notice any of this. But here's the thing. Stories like Larry's are happening every day. Every day. People just like Larry are missing out on opportunities because they choose to stay comfortable. He was still struggling with his own internal battle. The struggle between laziness and the desire for just a little bit of excitement. After all, why take risks when you can just stay safe and secure? Did those decisions make you happy? Did they bring you closer to your goals? Or did they leave you with a sense of regret and longing? It's about letting life pass you by instead of actively participating in it. It's about choosing comfort over growth, security over excitement. Well, here's why. Because life is full of opportunities that can bring you joy, excitement, and personal growth. And if you miss out on them because you choose to stay lazy, well, that's your loss. But his own internal dialogue sounded like a broken record. Too much effort, too much work, too much energy needed. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. And as always, thanks for watching. Those thoughts echoed in his mind, preventing him from making a single move. When you challenge yourself, when you step outside of your comfort zone, that's when you learn and evolve. Don't let your laziness hold you back from experiencing all that life has to offer. Take chances, pursue your dreams, and live life to the fullest, because life is too short to be lazy. That's when you discover new strengths and capabilities. Larry watched them, a longing look on his face. He wanted to be a part of their fun, but the effort required to get up and move was too much for him. Once again, his motto, "Why move when you can stay still?" won out. And as always, he went back to staring at the wall, this time with a heavy heart. He never once considered that maybe, just maybe, he should break the mold, defy his own motto, and do something, anything, to change his monotonous existence. Maybe, just maybe, he could have some fun. He remained the laziest cat in the world, always choosing to stay still instead of moving. And whenever he saw a mouse darting across the floor or a sunbeam falling through the window, he told himself, too much effort, too much work, too much energy needed. So Larry asked, Can I really play with you? I've never done this before. One day, while Larry was enjoying his usual sport on the floor, he heard some commotion coming from the living room. Curious for once, he lifted his head up to investigate. As he got closer, he heard one of the cats say, "This is the best party ever." Another cat exclaimed, "I can't believe how much fun we're having." And another said, "We should have parties like this more often." What he saw made his eyes pop wide open. There were dozens of cats in the living room, all gathered around something. "All you have to do is dive into the pile and roll around." Larry nodded, feeling a sense of determination rise within him. For the first time in his life, he had an opportunity to do something exciting, something different. He could actually have some fun. Larry couldn't see what they were looking at, but he could hear excited meows and the sound of laughter. Feeling a sudden burst of energy, Larry quickly got off the floor and padded over to the living room. Larry looked through the group of cats and saw the reason for their merriment. A sudden surge of excitement went through Larry. He wanted to join them, to roll around in the catnip and have fun for the first time in his life. Larry hesitated. The cat smiled. Of course you can. It's so easy. But then, just as quickly as it had appeared, the feeling vanished. As Larry struggled with his own laziness, the other cats continued to have fun. He tried to convince himself to go over and play. Time passed, and soon the pile of catnip lost its appeal. As the last of the cats left the room, Larry finally slumped down onto the floor. He had lost the battle. Now, as the days turned into weeks, Larry continued his routine of doing absolutely nothing. And so Larry's life went on, filled with missed opportunities and unfulfilled desires. Now, you might think that this is a sad ending to Larry's story, and in a way it is. It's easy to stick with what you know, to stay in your comfort zone and not rock the boat. Think about those times when you chose to play it safe instead of taking a chance. When you stayed in your comfort zone instead of exploring the unknown. Being lazy isn't just about being inactive. It's also about being passive. But here's the thing. Comfort and security don't bring lasting happiness, growth, and excitement. On the other hand, so don't be like Larry. If you enjoyed this story, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends.